Gue tabua, ya usi sampai burekan roka. Atau ruangan tabua, anto teli takkan nawarong enam pula FM. Nampak dua enasir.
Bola, naga go ilimo, do teli takkan FM, naga go set tertuan enam pula FM.
Bola o tsempo ni valu ngoni kandabu, ni mokisa o bacuk nasinu. Ando teli takkan bali na barong enam pula FM na bantu enasir.
Oh, lorima naga gini suka lambasa. Itu do teli takkan enam pula FM. Na bantu enasir.
Bola FM.
Good evening, this is FBC News. I'm Amrita Priyadarshini. In this bulletin, Police Director Intelligence ACP Henry Brown resigns. Wai City developers told to drop prices for housing lots or lose contract. And European Union helps improve access to judicial services. The Director for Intelligence and Investigation in the Fiji Police Force, ACP Henry Brown, has resigned. Acting Commissioner of Police Brigadier General Sitiveni Gilahor received an email from ACP Brown yesterday stating his decision to leave. Savara Tambua has more.
ACP Henry Brown, who took leave late last year, won't be returning to the Fiji Police Force. Acting Commissioner Brigadier General Gilahor confirms that an investigation into so-called serious wrongdoings by Henry Brown has dug up some issues which need attention.
The Office of the DPP has identified sufficient evidence which would have resulted in having Mr. Brown being interviewed under caution. His claim of denying him natural justice is false, as we have procedures to follow while conducting investigations, which I believe he should be well versed with. We will give him this opportunity to be heard during his interrogation.
The first phase of the investigation is complete, and the file had been sent to the Director of Public Prosecution's Office for a neutral legal opinion. ACP Brown was sent on leave with full pay so as to allow the investigations to be conducted thoroughly and independently. Gilahor also confirmed the investigation was being conducted under his close supervision during the entire process. The acting commissioner has also denounced Brown's concerns on junior officers investigating a senior officer. As it stands, Henry Brown will have to face the allegations against, be it through the police or the Fiji Independent Commission Against Corruption.
Since the initial phase of the investigation has been completed, we now have two options to choose on how we are going to handle ACP Brown's case. One, I will appoint an officer senior in rank to interview him under caution, or the second one is to forward the investigation files to FICAG to complete.
The decision to lay any charges will be made either by the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution or FICAG. Acting ACP Luke Novella is now acting for Director Intelligence and Investigation. Attempts to contact Brown were unsuccessful. Sabira Tambua, FBC News.
The price of houses in the proposed Wai City has delayed work at the site in Nosori. Housing Minister Parveen Kumar says this is the last attempt to salvage the contract with Malaysia-based Top Symphony Limited. Akasita Tale has more.
It's billed as the biggest housing project in Fiji, spread over 700 acres of freehold land owned by the Housing Authority. What you see here is basic earthworks, pretty much the same as what it was when FBC News last visited the site in 2013. About 5 years after the initial announcement, contractors Top Symphony Limited has been told to come up with affordable prices.
The pricing, the cost factor is very important for the government, because we would like to see that the price is affordable to the very poor that we are looking at.
Housing Minister Parveen Kumar says executives of Top Symphony have returned to Malaysia but will be back by the end of this month to meet with the government and the Housing Authority. He says this will be the final negotiation with the contractor to see that prices are kept within a range acceptable to the government and affordable for Fijians.
Yes, of course, yes. Then we will go and advertise again, and then we will call expression of interest again. But I am very hopeful that definitely this thing will come right this time, because we had so many meetings And this will, as I've said, that this will be the final meeting where we're going to make a decision. Housing Authority will have to make a decision on this.
A number of people have already applied for housing in Wai City since the project was launched in 2011. The housing units are expected to cater for all categories of home buyers, including low, middle and high income earners. Top Symphony Limited was awarded the development contract for Wai City under a private participation partnership agreement. Aku Sita Tale, FBC News.
Very few students are taking up scholarships offered in the field of agricultural studies. Tertiary Scholarship and Loans Board Chair Dixon Sito is concerned that there is simply no interest in this sector. Alan Stotts reports.
Despite the fact that there are a lot of vacant scholarships for agriculture studies, Tertiary Scholarships and Loans Scheme Office Board Chair Dixon Sito says the low numbers say it all.
But there is generally seems like very little interest in the last 2 years in these areas. You know, we've not received the full quota. In fact, we've had to counsel people to go into that program. Whereas I feel that that's a very exciting program to get into, given the fact that Fiji has a lot of land and the agriculture is the basis of, I think, a lot of industry in the future.
Sito says each program area has a certain quota to meet, and the priority list for high demand areas include engineering, commerce and medical. However, he also says that agriculture is an important and crucial industry for Fiji or any other country, given the economic implications it could have.
We need to be more self-sufficient in terms of saving foreign exchange and import substitution. So I'd like to see that in the future that more people would be taking up agro-based studies, and you can be virtually guaranteed that if you do, you would probably get a scholarship.
More than 600 students have received their Toppers Scholarship from the Tertiary Education Loans Board, while more than 10,000 applications for student loans are being processed. Ellen Stalls, FBC News.
The European Union will focus on helping the government improve providing access to justice for Fijians. European Union Head of Delegation to Fiji and the Pacific, Ambassador Andrew Jacobs, says they want the members of the public to know what options they have when they seek justice. Ambassador Jacobs says every citizen should have access to the judicial system.
Well, I think when it comes to access to justice, I mean, we're still working on the program, but there will be the provision of equipment, there will be the provision of technical expertise, and we also, will work with civil society organizations.
Now, this is part of an agreement signed between Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama and the European Union last year. Payment of outstanding hours to special constables has been approved by the government and Acting Police Commissioner Sitiveni Gileho, who says $2 million will be paid out. More than 1,000 special constables will receive the payment within the next fortnight. Gileho says the payment has been overdue for the last 5 years, and in some cases, officers are owed for over 1,000 hours of work.
I'd like to sincerely thank the government, the Prime Minister, the Minister of Finance and the Minister of Defence in supporting us in approving the payment to our special constables. It should be great for them as we start the school year, and I hope that the money will be put to good use by our special constables and their families.
Special constables with queries are advised to inquire at the police headquarters in Nasinu. Still to come, municipal councils discuss a national development plan.
And I love Mirchi FM.
Hi, my name is Sonny from Canberra. I love listening Mirchi FM online.
मैं हूँ उर्मिला देवी आसियासी तावा से जितेन शांडिल को और अश्निल को तावा में लॉक कर दिया जाए.
हम लोग यहाँ से कतो में Mirchi FM सुनता है. Mirchi FM is hot.
I'm Shelly in Tanga Nursery. Mirchi music simply bindas in nursery.
मैं अशफाक वाली लोगों से Mirchi FM मेरे नस नस में.
Mirchi FM.
Welcome back. You're with FBC News. Now, the Consumer Council of Fiji is reminding private practitioners to comply with the new value-added tax rate that came into effect this month. Council Chief Executive Premila Kumar says the VAT reduction applies to medical services as well.
Private practitioners including dentists, private doctors and medical clinic operators registered for VAT are also covered by the new VAT rate. Consumer Council CEO Premila Kumar says 6% VAT reduction should be reflected in all fees and charges covering consultation fees, securing medical examination certificates and other medical services.
The medical practitioner or the center or the clinic or the private hospital, if they are registered for VAT, then they must reduce the price of all their services, and it must be revised to 9%.
Kumar says consumers must see a drop in prices of the health services offered by private hospitals and clinics, or practitioners could be fined up to $50,000. However, the Fiji College of General Practitioners says this does not apply across the board. FCGP Secretary Dr. Keshwan Nadan says private medical practitioners who earn less than $100,000 per annum are not required to reduce VAT charges.
Those practitioners who are registered with FIRCA, they are paying the amount. Those GPs who are not complying may not earn over $100,000 because FIRCA allows practitioners earning over $100,000 to pay VAT amount. And moreover, regarding the charges, each and every individual GPs, they have their own range of charges.
The FCGP is as yet unaware of whether private clinics and medical centers, which should reduce VAT, have done so. Shriti Prasad, FBC News.
A trial date of February 1st has been set for a former Information and Public Relations Officer in the Prime Minister's office. Rudra Maharaj is charged with bribery-related offences. Maharaj is alleged to have accepted an advantage of $2,000 in 2 cheques amounting to $10,000 from one Aveen Prakash in 2013. Maharaj told the court yesterday that he wants the trial date vacated because his sister died on Christmas Day and the mourning period will take 6 weeks. However, Maharaj withdrew the application today and said he is ready to start trial next month after discussions with his lawyer. Maharaj is being prosecuted by the Fiji Independent Commission Against Corruption. Special administrators and chief executives of all municipal councils met today to fine-tune the draft 5-year and 20-year National Development Plan. The NDP will govern government policy and spending initiatives in the immediate future. Ritika Pratap has more.
This discussion is focused on reviewing measures in the National Development Plan which affect municipal services. Local Government Minister Parveen Kumar says now is the time for all town and city councils to make detailed plans for the next 5 to 20 years.
How far you want to extend your municipal boundaries? Relocation of your market and bus station because of the congestion. How will you monitor the construction of shopping complex malls because land cannot grow? How are we going to control the traffic congestion that we have?
Kumar says the NDP's overall vision is a better Fiji for all, which needs support from all Fijians.
Must all be fully aware by now that the overall objective and goals must be all geared towards achieving a rate of both sustainable and sustained economic growth that encompass employment creation, poverty reduction, and equitable wealth distribution.
The minister also urged the special administrators to go out in their respective communities and get views of the people on what they want in years to come. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
The Ministry for Women, Children and Poverty Alleviation is working on improving their service delivery in aged care homes across the country. The Minister today consulted with the National Council of Older Persons or NCOP to brief them on areas in need of improvement. Shriti Prasad has more.
With the responsibility of 3 aged care homes this year, the ministry will make improvements on health, safety and living standards of older persons across the country.
Apart from the physical administration of these 3 homes, the ministry will also be responsible for the care and protection of the old age persons accommodated within these 3 institutions, as well as the rights and interests of older persons in our communities. Thus, NCOP's challenge is to be the leading agency to champion the dignity, rights and well-being of our senior citizens.
The 12 NCOP members that work together with the Ministry of Women, Children and Poverty Alleviation have been given grants to improve services within their organizations. Fiji National Council of Social Services Executive Director Neil Maharaj says they want families to take care of their elders.
For that small grant that we received. Our major focus this year is also to promote the family values and family care values as well, because we can see that there is a sudden rise in the elderly people being left alone and being pushed to the elderly caregiving home as well.
Just to be part of this organization, NCOP, and because we are getting grant from this, and it has helped us to get equipments, some of our equipments from the grant that we've had, and to be part of this, a bigger picture, not just the home occupation there, but the bigger picture of caring for the elderly.
The ministry has been allocated $200,000 to improve in the aged care homes. Shriti Prasad, FBC News.
Designated essential service employees are again able to participate in collective bargaining after a lapse of several years. Attar Singh, General Secretary of the Fiji Islands Council of Trade Unions, says this is a progressive step for workers' rights.
The EREB has resolved that they will issue a circular. The Minister for Labour or Permanent Secretary for Labour would be requested to issue a circular requiring such entities like the local government, municipalities and National Fire Authority in particular to proceed to negotiate with their unions, that their unions are eligible for negotiation and that there is no further registration required.
Singh says the Employment Relations Advisory Board also discussed and approved the reinstatement of disputes by public service workers which were previously disregarded because of various E&I decrees. Shareholders in publicly listed companies will soon be able to check the value of their shares online. South Pacific Stock Exchange is about to launch a subsidiary company, Central Share Registry. The SPSC has developed a shareholder registry that updates portfolios automatically according to daily changes. Chief Executive Latile Tankoro says this will provide shareholders full access to the value of their portfolio without having to call the company.
It maintains the shareholder registry for the companies. So everything from dividend distribution to annual report distribution to addressing shareholder queries, that comes through the CSRL. Also, when the transaction happens, a trade happens, the certificates need to transfer from whoever is selling to whoever is buying. The formulation of certificates, all that is borne by the Central Share Registry.
Cora says the launch is in the final testing stages. Well, Jamie is here now with Thursday Night Sports.
Thank you, Amrita, and good evening. But before I get to what's coming up in sports tonight, so today is a very special day because it's Amrita's birthday. Happy birthday, Amrita.
Thank you, Jamie.
How are you feeling today? You feel a lot wiser?
Yeah, I guess wiser, but happier. I'm a lot happier person.
Did that happen overnight, or was it like a year-long thing?
We'll skip to sports now.
Anyway, up ahead in sports, Super Rugby team officials visit Suva game venue. And Fiji Olympians draw second match on Spain tour. These stories and more after the break.
Bula, I'm Dori from Nasinu Market. My choice is simple, Gold FM. Only the classic hits.
My name is Yvonne. I'm from Nandi. I love Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Sayandra, my name is Sunny. Only the Gold FM at Golden Point Resort, Raki Raki.
Hi, I'm Anna of Nasinu. When it comes to a radio, my choice is always Gold FM. Only the classic hits.
My name is Anna and I'm from Nandi. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Officials from Super Rugby franchise the Chiefs were at the ANZ Stadium in Suva today to survey the facility. This in the build-up for the clash at this venue between the Waikato-based side and the Crusaders in July. Charlie Ndavakadaka has more.
The ANZ Stadium was abuzz with activity as Fiji Sports Council officials took members of the Chiefs Rugby and television officials on a tour of the entire facility.
We're just looking over the stadium. Basically, our concept here and our meetings here is just to see your beautiful facilities, see what we need to arrange for our game, just to get to know the place. We'll be looking at all sorts, so we'll be looking at where Sky TV are setting up, the changing rooms, all that kind of stuff, how we're going to get this field and place ready for our exciting game.
Way by the standard of facilities at the stadium and the uniqueness of its location.
Well, of course, we have some local boys in our team, so they're very, very excited. It is going to be different, taking it away from Waikato Stadium, but we're very excited at the same time. It's a beautiful location. Everyone has been so helpful. We have a lot of support back home for us bringing this game here and stuff, so we just hope everyone will come out for it and support as well.
The Chiefs Crusaders match will be held right here on July the 1st. It's expected to attract a large number of fans from New Zealand who, just like local fans in Fiji, will be thrilled to witness a Super Rugby match on our shores. Talento Kavaka, FBC Sports.
3 years after sustaining a neck injury at a local tournament, Nanranga fullback Mitieli Nathangilevu could soon be making a return to the International Rugby Sevens arena. However, coach Ben Ryan believes Nathangilevu still has a lot to work on before he suits in the white jersey once again. Talento Kavaka reports.
A serious neck injury in 2012 was thought to have ended Mitieli Nathangilevu's playing career. However, the backline utility is back in the national setup, and coach Ben Ryan has his eyes firmly fixed on the Nanranga man.
It started last year actually at Nawaka. I watched him playing and I thought he had some very strong games, and so we just had a chat with the medical staff and said, look, can we have another examination of what's happening with his neck and see if we can pass him to play again or be considered. And we went through all of that. Consultants said, yep, he's okay to return to international rugby.
Nathangilevu may not be immediately available for the next 2 legs of the World Series, but Ryan is sizing him up for a possible spot in either the backs or forwards later in the season.
So he's back training with us, and he's had some pretty strong displays. He was off the bench a lot in the Coral Coast. You see his raw power. He's not quite fit enough yet, and he's only really got to this level, back to this level the last few weeks or last couple of months. So he's still getting fitter and fitter, and you know, we'll see him slowly progress.
If he does make the cut sometime in the future, Nathangilevu's journey from a career and life-threatening injury will become another classic tale to come out of the Fiji Sevens team. Talento Kavaka, FBC Sports.
The Fijiana 23 football team has drawn the second match of its Spain tour. The Frank Farina coach side tied Hercules 1-1 in its match this morning, with the Mento happy to see an improvement after its 2-0 loss to Levante United. Farina made 9 changes to his starting lineup and added he will continue changing his starting team in each of the 6 matches.
3 games in 3 days is always difficult. So, you know, other players will come back in, and we keep working on our structures, and you know, obviously possession-based football, and we'll be doing the same for all 6 games.
I think it is a great experience for us. We're playing some good teams, with more experienced team than us, and we are getting a lot of positive of it. So which will help us in developing our team for the Rio game.
In its 3rd match in Spain, Fiji takes on CF Cranks at 7 tomorrow morning. The tour is part of its build-up to the Olympic Games in August. Vodafone Cup champions Sambeto Roosters will be the top seeds in the Raki Raki Nines Rugby League tournament this weekend. The Nandi side also captured the Nines tournament that it hosted earlier this month. Teams are expected to be in better shape this weekend following that hit out in Nandi.
The whole reason that we're having in Ra is we have started off with Nandi, now we're moving to Ra, and then there's a possibility of having one in Suva and most likely in Reketi, depending on the conditions of finances that we have at the moment.
12 teams will compete in the Raki Raki Nines tournament on Saturday at the Ra Sports Complex. And that is your sports for this evening. It's back to the birthday girl with business.
Fiji Airways has signed up to be the sole platinum sponsor for the 2015 Excellence in Tourism Awards. Board Chair Mr. James has acknowledged Fiji Airways' support over the past 18 years. And Fiji Airways CEO says Fiji Airways is delighted to continue its association with the Tourism Awards as an integral part of the Fijian tourism industry. The 2015 ANZ Fiji Excellence in Tourism Awards Gala dinner will be held at the Denara Convention Centre on February 19th. Well, fine weather was experienced over most places today, apart from isolated afternoon showers in the interior of the larger islands. Taking a look at the temperatures, Lambasa was again the warmest centre at 34 degrees. All the rest were close behind. Tomorrow looks like it will be much like today, but there is a slim chance of light scattered showers in the afternoon. Now for Saturday, some showers over the eastern parts and interior of the larger islands. Afternoon or evening showers are expected elsewhere. Southeast winds 15 to 20 knots and moderate seas are expected. Recapping our main stories, Director Intelligence and Investigations in the Fiji Police Force, ACP Henry Brown, has resigned. Wai City developers told to make their housing prices more affordable or lose the multi-million-dollar contract. And lack of interest in scholarships for agricultural studies. We move on to this week's poll question. Was back-to-school shopping cheaper this year? You can visit our FBC website to take part. Thank you for joining me on FBC News. You've been watching FBC News. I'm Amrita Priyadarshini. Good night.
I'm Sarah, I'm from Tafwa, and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
My name is Freddy, I'm from Gamiatong. I listen to Mario on the traffic jam every afternoon.
Hi, my name is Salah, I live in Asinu. Today FM rocks.
My name is Denasa, and I'm from Lutoka, and I love listening to Today FM.
My name is Ulamila, I work at Golden Point Resort. I love listening to Today FM. It rocks in Raki Raki.
I'm Mary from Mandera. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
We love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Today's hit music on Today FM.